Welcome to Hey, You Got a Minute, the podcast, and today we are featuring Mark Anderson, who is going to talk to us a little bit about the Go Project. So Mark and I go way back before Snapchat, before Instagram. It was probably grade 1 and 2 when we were playing little tyke soccer. Mark was definitely the goal scorer, and I was definitely hiding in the bushes or picking dandelions and flowers. So
it was a Jordan Pippen type
It's a Jordan Pippen type role, exactly. So it's always nice to hang out with Mark, and we went from Lakeridge days to Evan Hardy days, and then here to USask, and now we're entering adulthood, which is a scary time.
Very scary.
But again, if the first 13 years went well, I think we'll be able to keep this going.
We're in a good spot.
Yeah,
we'll be
absolutely.
Okay.
So tell me about this Go project. What's kind of the idea of it? How'd you get involved? Let's go for it.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. It's really an honor. Like you said, we go way back, so we don't cross paths as much anymore, but I've always been watching and supporting from afar, so it's exciting to see you've gotten this up off the ground and running. But yeah, the Go Project's this really cool not-for-profit organization that I work with. We're based in Toronto, but we do programs across Canada for children and youth. And the focus of these programs is kind of helping young people identify and develop the unique skills and abilities they have and recognize how they can create positive change in the world using those gifts that they've been given, all kind of serving as the hands and the feet of God in the communities they interact with.
So being from Saskatoon and then entering this Toronto-based kind of program, how'd you get involved? How'd you start with them?
Yeah, the minister at my home church, which is McClure United, attended the Go Project as a volunteer leader. Knowing that I like working with kids and I'm always up for a bit of an adventure, she suggested I apply back in 2014. So I had the opportunity to go to St. John's and go to Halifax, work with youth there. And since then, I've been with Go in a number of different capacities. And it's just over the last couple summers that I've been based in Toronto. But you know, it's small fish, big pond, but I'm enjoying Toronto in the summers, and it's nice to be kind of closer to the heart of the action with the Go Project.
That's definitely impressive that with this Go Project, you've been able to basically travel across the country, you've been able to see kind of the coast to coast. So what would you consider your role, or what are your multiple roles or tasks within the Go Project?
Yeah, so right now my official title is animator, and if you don't know what that means, it's okay, because really I don't either. But my focus has just been expanding and building the vision and the reach of Go. And over the last couple of months, I've been contacting churches across Saskatchewan and Alberta because we're bringing our children's adventure camps to Saskatchewan, Alberta for the first time this summer. So that's kind of been my primary focus, is a lot of cold calls, a lot of emails, and just spreading the word of Go and what we're trying to do. So obviously it's exciting to bring these children's programs here to our home province for the first time. It's a privilege to be a part of that.
So looking at specifically Saskatoon, when is this Go Adventure? Sorry, one more time. Is it the Go Project Adventure Camp? Is that kind of the title?
It all works. We're on the same page.
So the Adventure Camp in Saskatoon, when is that, and kind of how do you get involved with that if you're from kind of the Saskatoon area?
Yeah, so we have the Youth Go Project,
Yeah.
August 16th to 26th, and that's hosted by St. Martin's United Church. But then we also have 2 of those children's adventure camps. So one at the last week of August at St. Paul's United Church, and then one the week prior at my home church, McClure United. So those are camps that people can get involved in. Check out our website. I'm sure at the end you'll post something.
We'll have a little banner, right for you.
So check out our website or shoot us an email and ask some questions. But we'd love to have more people from Saskatoon involved. So the children's camps, obviously, we're looking for local kids, grades 2 to 7 is our age range for that younger group. But older kids, ages 13 and up, can go anywhere across Canada. So any of our programs.
So what would kind of this camp look like? What are the kids going to learn? What are the children going to kind of experience? What kind of takeaways do you want them to have by going to these camps or adventures?
Yeah, good question. Like I said, we kind of want to help them recognize that everyone has these unique skills and gifts that no one else has and no one else can replicate. And as a result, they can make changes in the world in ways that no one else can. So we want that to kind of be the lead takeaway. And regardless of faith background, or even if you're not really sure what you believe in, we want everyone to be able to feel welcome and feel involved in our programs. So again, just doing a lot of volunteer work and learning in the communities, kind of identifying areas of need, different ways that we can make changes in the own communities that we belong to when we leave the Go Project and go back home.
So looking back, you started with them in 2014.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
let's look back kind of even further than that. Who was kind of or what was the experience, or who was kind of a person that really got you into this volunteering side, and trying to, I guess, make the world a better place through these types of areas? Was it like a parent or a teacher? Just kind of go, I know it's hard to pick one, especially through this many years of life, but if you could narrow kind of the one person who definitely inspired you.
Yeah, that's a big question. Like I said, we've both been lucky to have so many people in our lives. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give credit to my parents. They've always been so kind and loving and supportive of my brother and I, and really epitomized what it means to be devoted and committed and work for your community, and build up the people around you. So they've always modeled that and set a really high standard. But they're also, there to catch me when I fall short of that standard, dust me off, and send me back out there. So I'd have to give credit to my parents.
Always the parents. Always shout out to the Anderson family and parents.
Hey, Mom.
Yes. So with the Go project, your involvement for 2014, starting in 2014 till now, what's kind of the skills that you've picked up, or kind of things that you're most proud of in that 5 years working with them?
Good question. I think a lot of it is just the intangibles, the connections that I've been able to build, and the people I know, and the networks that I've built, especially with young people. There's so many incredible teenagers and children across the country, so it's been an honor to connect with them and see them grow and build in community. So largely it's the relationships, but I've really grown in my ability to lead, I think, become a better leader and someone who can lead by example. I've never been really like the rah-rah type. I know you're not necessarily that guy either, but to be able to lead by example and try to set a standard for those around you.
It's crazy where just when you think of you think of Canada as such a big place,
Yep.
and then when you're involved in like a Go project, you realize, okay, you have connections in Toronto, you have connections in Halifax, you have connections in Vancouver, and it just becomes, the country becomes so much smaller, and you just have more connections. So that's a really important piece that you touched on, so I'm glad you were able to bring that up.
Yeah, and it's nice, I think, that the youth get that too, because kids come from all over to Saskatoon or Vancouver or wherever it may be, and then once they disperse, they've got these relationships in other spots, and I think that's really special, and that's really unique to know people outside of your hometown.
So Mark, what would kind of be your ultimate dream or goal with this Go project that you're working on?
I want to see it keep expanding, so obviously bringing the children's camps to Saskatchewan, Alberta is kind of new and exciting now, but I want to see that continue to grow and continue to build, because I think it's like so special and so important for people to be involved in, whether it be our initiative or something else, just for people to be involved and be committed to things that build community and build people up, especially like we've talked about, we're kind of living in this society in this time where we're more divided than ever, even though we've got the tools and the technologies to transcend all those differences. So really just continuing to build the Go project up and expand even further across Canada, maybe even beyond.
Now it's time for the Go segment, which was originated and the idea was founded by Mark Anderson himself. So happy to have him on to be a part of his own segment. Really excited for that. So the Go segment, we just hit Mark with a couple of quick questions, learn a little bit more about Mark Anderson, the person. So, favorite book?
The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Robin Sharma.
Oh, okay. How many times have you read it?
3.
Wow, 3 times. Very impressive. Favorite song, or what's on the playlist right now?
Ooh, The Temptations, My Girl. Bit of a throwback.
Motown. Oh, that's been on too many ads though lately.
You finding that?
I'm just finding it like it's ruining it because it's not the Temptations singing it. It's someone else, so I'm like,
Need the original.
you need the original. Favorite animal?
Goat, hands down. Not even a question.
Favorite superhero?
Superhero. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Did you see that?
I did. No spoilers though.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, she's the best.
It was almost unfair. It was only, that's a spoiler. We'll cut that.
Alright.
That was good though. Like, do you see the endgame too?
Yeah, it was hype.
When they all popped. Oh. It was sad though.
This one
It was sad though.
It was.
Like,
Yeah, I saw tears around me for sure.
oh yeah, I heard some sniffles in front, and I'm like, my eyes
Yeah,
were
it got pretty dry in the theater just at that moment.
Favorite vacation spot?
Ooh, good question. This wasn't a vacation, but I went once to South Korea. That was a good spot. Highly recommend.
just for fun, or was it part of a?
You know, I went
Was
with a
it-
group delegation from some churches around Saskatoon.
Not bad. South Korea. Food good?
Oh, food's the best.
Do you have a dog? This one here. Look at this.
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
I think we had cat. But, you know, we didn't ask a lot of
Yeah,
questions.
you
before-
just gotta
before
eat
ordering.
it. Don't worry, this will be a condensed
Yeah.
cut segment. Favorite show?
The Office.
The Office. Yeah, I'm binge watching that one right now. Oh, can't but yeah. We can't. We this segment is gonna be like a 10-minute segment. Favorite movies? We kind of covered it. Or
Favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
Notting Hill.
I know. Is that with Halle Berry?
No.
Shoot.
Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts.
In my downtime, you can find me.
Eating sushi.
Where do you go to in the city?
Nissan Sushi.
Oh, we can't afford that show. Favorite quote or quote you live by?
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Jordan and Michael Scott.
Thanks to Mark Anderson for joining the podcast today. If you want to contact Mark Anderson about the Go project, where can we find some information?
Well, I'd suggest hitting up their website, which is www.thegoproject.ca. Our email is thegoproject@islingtonunited.org. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And then obviously we're on Instagram too, _go_project. So give us a follow and check us out. But that's about it.
Good stuff. Thanks again to Mark Anderson for joining the Hey, You Got a Minute podcast.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
What's up?
All right.